7 o'clock. I'd like to call the Joint Special School Building Committee to order. It's Thursday, March 25th, 2021. As chairman of the Joint Special School Building Committee, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12 pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. To access via Zoom, please refer to the agenda or the city's website for the meeting link. To join by phone, dial 1-929-205-6099. The meeting ID is 813-4845-0130, and the password is 765558. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting through public postings. Instructions have also been provided on the City of Nashua's website at www.nashuanh.gov and publicly noticed at City Hall and the Hunt Memorial Library. If anyone has a problem accessing the meeting via phone or channel 99, please call 603-821-2049 and they will help you connect. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting via the methods mentioned above, the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. We will start tonight's meeting by having the clerk call the roll. Please tell us that that you're present, you can hear the proceedings, and that you're alone as authorized by right to know law. Would the clerk please call the roll? Isn't
I think that
Linda, isn't it?
Yeah, Harry Gathright was doing it before. I don't know if Miss Bishop is available this evening or not.
It looked like Linda was having problems logging in.
Okay.
I'm here, but I don't have the roll call in front of me. Let's see if I can do this I'm on my phone, not on my computer.
Okay.
Do you guys mind if I just go through my Zoom instead of by the agenda?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. So Alderman Dowd.
I am present. I can hear the proceedings and I am alone.
Okay. Alderman Cte.
I am here. I can hear the proceedings and I am alone.
Miss Giglio.
I am here. I can hear everything and I am alone.
Miss Raymond.
Yes, I'm here. I'm alone-ish. My family's in the next room, and I can hear everything.
Alderman Wilshire.
I'm alone and I can hear everyone.
Miss Brown.
I'm here. I'm in the room alone and I can hear.
Miss Johnson.
I'm here. I'm alone in the room and I can hear everyone.
Miss McCarthy? Am I missing someone?
No, she's a member of the public.
Okay.
Alderman Lou will not be with us this evening. And
Okay.
Yourself.
And I'm here. I'm never alone, but nobody's going to impact the meeting.
Okay.
I think Alderwoman Harriet Gathright keeps trying to log in. I keep seeing her, but she doesn't seem to connect. So
Okay.
Sorry, did you get Miss Johnson?
No, I just have
Yes.
a question. You've
Sure.
gotten me. Okay.
Yep.
I just want to clarify something. You said that the agenda is posted at City Hall and the Hunt Memorial Library for the public to see. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is City Hall and the Hunt Memorial Library open for people to go in and out? Or is it still
They're on
shut
the
down?
outside. They're on the outside door.
On the outside door?
Yep.
So is City Hall open or City Hall is closed?
City Hall is closed as far as I know, except by appointment, till they finish all the internal construction.
Oh, it's only closed because of construction?
There's a lot of construction going on. It's been delayed by COVID because some of the people doing the building things have been hindered by that.
Thank you very much for your answer.
Okay,
I'll announce the rest of the people that are here as well.
okay.
We have, let me go back to the front. We have Mr. Ouellette, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Lemire, Miss Coy.
Just
Did I
go.
say that right? Miss Coy. I'm sure I didn't do that justice, did I?
Yeah, it's Misco, but it's okay.
Misco. I like to add extra words in there, or extra sounds. We have Mr. Smith. Hello, Mr. Parker. And I think that is it for us. We have ETV with us as well.
Yeah, the TV people are on.
Yes.
Okay, if there are no objections, I will waive the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting of February 18th, 2021, accept them and place them on file. Remarks by chairman. Today we have, when the construction company is presenting, we're going to have 21 letters of recommendation for bids. And we're going to be starting the Penachuk project very shortly, possibly even tomorrow. And we're going to want to solidify all these bids. In all of the bids, the low bidder is the one that's been selected. You may see some on there that have lower bids, but they didn't meet the specs, so they don't qualify. So they were not an eligible bid. And that'll be explained in more detail by Ken. So, okay, remarks by school administration.
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Items for discussion and approval of invoices. First item is the architect's report. From Harriman, Jamie.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Tonight I have a brief summary for each of the three middle school projects. And I will share that for the next presentation. I mean, next meeting, I will have a few slides to show on some professional graphics that we're having made on the new middle school to share and kind of show some of the work that's happening over there. But for tonight, I'll give you kind of an update, talk about a little bit about schedule and see where things are at here. So on the Fairgrounds project, most of it's in the construction side. There are a few items of design that we're kind of looking at or reviewing. One of those items is there's a front retaining wall in front of the building right now that is it's aged. It's starting to deteriorate. So we're reviewing that right now and seeing what might be a proper fix to that and creating a nice aesthetic to that little portion there that's again deteriorating. So nothing's moving ahead as far as work with that, but just kind of reviewing some options to see if there is some feasibility to adjusting that area. On site or in the past couple days here, we've been coordinating with Harvey on some science room coordination items. There's some venting, some conflicts with where the piping's going into some of the science rooms, and we're just trying to work around some of the found items and nothing I think that's going to be extraordinary, but just kind of working through those. And I bring them to today just to kind of talk about some of the things that's ongoing. It doesn't, I'm not trying to bring alarm to anything. That actually it's pretty minor in nature, but just trying to keep people informed on some of the coordination items we're working on. And then there's a couple of electrical adjustments that have been requested by the school. And now that we've kind of got the building, being used, there's some additional lighting that in the back parking lot that's been requested, and a couple of other items in a couple of the other rooms inside the building that are electrical in nature. So we're working with Harvey and the school to address those and see how we can get a little better function out of a couple of those items. But in general, at Fairgrounds, things are going well. We hear good things from the principal, and even have heard some things through the grapevine, and from the public. Seems like school is going well, and as the new building's laid out, people seem to be pretty happy with the colors and adjustments of the spaces. So overall, that project's going great, and looking forward here to the next couple of milestones, which are kind of like April break and the end of school year for other pieces of the building to be wrapped up. Over at Pennachuck Middle School, as Alderman Dowd had mentioned, they're working to get the work on site going here pretty quickly. One of those items that's kind of, aside from kind of all these approvals that they're waiting on, one of the items that we're looking to try to iron out is we've been working with Harvey, the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services, and the city, and looking to get an AOT permit. And there's a few things kind of holding that from coming through. There's a review process that happens, it's actually a newer review process that the state has instilled upon these construction projects, and so the time frame of those tend to I think they're just trying to gear up for it. So it's being under review, and we're hoping that any day, it could maybe tomorrow or whatnot, we get that approval and be able to move ahead with that. So it's ongoing, but it's looking good. So just want to report that we're continuing to review the permits that are required to start the work. Harriman did issue a conformance set, and I want to define what a conformance set is. I've talked about schematic design, design development, construction documents. The conformance set is during the bidding period. There's a lot of questions that come in and adjustments, and we even provide changes to the documents on something that we might have overlooked, and making sure that those all kind of get ironed out. Once those bids come in, it's easier for the contractor and for the architect to have the single set that kind of brings all those different changes and notes that were added during the bidding period into a single set that can be referenced, instead of trying to find, look through these other documents. So that's called a conformance set. It kind of conforms all the different pieces together. And so we issued that to Harvey recently, so they're working with that. Doesn't change anything from what they bid on, just simply kind of, again, brings it all to one place. We are in the process of reviewing signage with, I may have reported on this last time because we've been working on it for a little while now, but we're working on the interior signage package with safety and security for the Nashua schools. And we have a couple more meetings to set up with the principal on just kind of finalizing a few things as the project gets going. And one of those is just to kind of review final finishes and stuff like that, make sure that it's all in line with the expectation that he has, and the rest of the school. And then over at the new middle school, and down here, apologize. There we go. We're continuing our design process for the construction documents. I think a while back we had issued design development, and now we're trying to finish those documents so that Harvey has a biddable package. And so our latest efforts on that on the construction document portion is we've been working with Harvey, reviewing the scopes with utility companies, and in the process of just getting them scheduled to do their work. Things like 3-phase powers out at the main Dunstable. It's going to run down Buck Meadow and come toward the site. So things like that with Eversource, or getting that coordinated, making sure that it's on their docket, their scheduling, and getting those geared up. It's not that the work's going to start up. It's just that they're just going to get that. It takes a while to get those things in process. So having those conversations now really make it easier in the long run. So we've worked with Eversource. We're working with Liberty Gas and the other utilities, and just getting those things ongoing. We've been coordinating with safety and security on exterior camera locations, and we'll be doing some of the building coordinations here in the next week or so, coordinating interior cameras and access control to the building, things like that, signage, all those type of things are in process and being coordinated with the school. We've also been coordinating with the facilities and talking about the chiller plants and you know all the items that go inside the school for you know the mechanical systems, electrical systems, and making sure that those are up to their expectations. As we continue to review the schedule and the permitting and planning process, we are looking to see where these fit in. There's a few items that we're working on to make sure that the permit goes smoothly and gets right, you know, gets right into the hands of where they need to be in order to get the permits in a timely fashion. And with that, we're laying out our schedule in conjunction with that permitting process. So some of the upcoming milestones for the construction document sets is we're going to be looking to issue a 75% document set in about 2 weeks. And that'll go to, you know, facilities to kind of review those things I was kind of mentioning before, making sure that, you know, the types of, you know, diffusers or whatever might be inside the school, the lights and all that stuff kind of falls into the kind of Nashua standards, Nashua school standards. And it allows them an opportunity to weigh in before we hit the bidding set that goes to Harvey. And then shortly after that, at the approximately the first week in May, there's a 95% review set. Again, that kind of refines it to that next steps, takes all those comments we receive, incorporates them in. And then at that time, we also issue a specification. So there's kind of two aspects. There's drawings that show plans and pictures of the building construction, and then there's specifications that actually are written book. And they usually get pretty thick, several inches, and those will kind of describe in words all the processes and products and all that stuff. So that will come at a 95% review set, so that again the school can review that and make sure it falls into their expectations for the project. And then we're looking to issue our final construction documents in May and June for the construction set, so that Harvey will have that in hand to start pricing. That's all I had. I was trying to keep it a little bit brief because I know Ken has a lot to go, so I didn't want to go too far on. But if there's any questions, I'm open to questions at this point.
Any questions for the architect, Mr. Dubois?
Thank you, Mr. Dodd. Jamie, you just may want to explain to the folks that are with us and the folks at home what an AOT permit is quickly.
Sure. No, absolutely. Good question. So it's called an AOT. It is, I'm surprised not everybody knows that. No, joking. Alteration of terrain. So it's an alteration of terrain permit. It's required by the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services when you impact a certain portion, I think it's like 10,000 square foot of a site. And it's a permit just so that they can keep track of what kind of work in the earth is going on. And they have to review your scope and issue a permit. So it's an alteration of terrain. So whenever you disturb, I think 10,000 square feet of terrain, that's required by, in this case, New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services. Thank you, Mr. Dubois.
Yeah, we'll also be needing one for the new school as well. It's later date. Any questions for the architect? Seeing none. Ken? Construction managers report.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Alderman Dowd. Yeah, so just to kind of keep things brief, I know we're here. We have a lot of packages to go through for the Pennachuck Middle School, but I'll give a brief update on both schools where we're standing right now. Let me just share my screen here. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so as I just mentioned, I'm going to keep this a little more brief for the Fairgrounds update. So moving in, I'll give a quick update on Pennachuck first. So Jamie did a good job of kind of describing the pre-construction aspects of the project. As you know, as he noted, we're moving into the final portions of pre-construction, and as Alderman Dowd mentioned, we'll be kind of getting rolling and mobilizing on site next week. So I know some of the staff have already seen some Harvey trucks and people getting ready to do some work this week, and they were certainly concerned and asking questions. So we were right there to make sure we could walk them through any concerns that they had. So I guess the main reason we're here tonight is to finalize the project GMP contract and some of the final trade contractor award recommendations that I'll be walking you folks through just after this presentation is complete. And then as Alderman Down mentioned, we'll be mobilizing on site next week, starting to get our job trailers and site fencing and signage, and we'll begin the exterior parking lot work sometime next week. I'll give you a couple of small items that we have done on site. We did perform a pre-con meeting last week with the planning board and the fire department. Both Alderman Dowd and Mr. Smith were present for that meeting and participated as well. We did perform a site walk, as I mentioned, with the principal and the vice principal. Principal Falzarano walked around the site with us, expressed comments, concerns. So basically, and I'll share this next meeting, but we develop a logistics plan, especially with a project of this nature, with how we move around the job site. We want to make sure that the communication with the administration and the parents, and especially with the bus schedule, is communicated effectively so that we don't affect the day-to-day activities as we move around the site. As we move into the building and start performing construction, I'll include some photos as I normally have done in the previous meetings for Fairgrounds. But for now, we're just kind of limited to this one slide, and then hopefully next month you'll be able to see some parking lot photos of the new northeast parking lot at the job site. So moving back into Fairgrounds, Jamie mentioned again the overall project has been great. Principal Coffey and Vice Principal Abergost have been great to work with. We try to keep the lines of communication most important. We want to make sure that we can perform our work effectively, but also we don't want to affect what's going on inside the school during the day. So again, Jamie's team, Harriman, they've been really great to work with, and it's been a great year. So I'm very excited, and I think as Jamie mentioned, we've got a lot of great feedback on how some of the spaces look. So I'll walk you through a few quick milestones of what's changed over the last month. There aren't a whole lot of changes. Next month, we'll be turning over the new addition and the new administration area. So I think that's where you're really going to be able to get the wow factor that I think a lot of folks are waiting for. So one of the big milestones that we did complete this month was just after April vacation, we turned over the Unified Arts Wing. So the photo to the right here kind of gives a good look down one of the main corridors in that area. And I think something you can really notice is part of Harriman's design, and we have a lot of these exposed ceiling spaces in that school, for those of you who aren't familiar with it. And part of the design was to paint everything. And I think you can really tell the difference. It brightens up the space, and it makes it look bigger, and it really just completely gives the entire space a facelift. So Harriman did perform a punch list. For those of you who aren't familiar with a punch list, it's normally it's basically a list of items that the contractor has to complete, and this is normally done towards the end of a phase or a project. So Harriman will come through, and Jamie and his team will do inspections and issue us the list, and then we'll make sure that those items are completed, and then we just follow up and make sure that the space is turned over per specifications and the contract documents. One of the challenges in doing this work is the space is often occupied, so all this work is performed off shift, and we have to coordinate and make sure that we're not interfering with any school activities. So the main bulk of this work, it's a lot of painting items. A lot of this stuff is performed on the weekends, Fridays, and during school vacations. We're currently working in there are 2 science rooms that we're working in. The center Octagon STEAM area and the new, as I mentioned, the new admin area and entrance. This is all going to be turned over during April vacation. Jamie did mention some smaller coordination items that we're working through in the science classrooms, but again, nothing of concern, just standard items that we kind of have to work through with these renovation type projects. Once those spaces are turned over, we do take over the remaining science classrooms and the gymnasium. Now, the gymnasium is probably going to be the thing that people notice the most, because there's going to be it's a complete facelift of everything in the gym except for the HVAC items in the ceiling, new basketball court, paint, bleachers, pads, divider curtain, everything. So that's gonna be a really nice space for the students when they return in the fall. Here's just a couple of photos of the Unified Arts Wing. So I mentioned the noticeable difference of the ceiling and just painting everything. I guess the walls and up, it really makes a big difference. This is the corridor outside of the CTE classroom, the woodworking classroom, and the photo on the left. Photo in the middle is the main corridor coming, I guess, coming from the main hallway outside of the gymnasium. This is looking down towards the art rooms. And again, this is during this phase, we did turn over 2 ADA bathrooms that are side by side in this space, typical to the other bathrooms that were completed in the student commons areas. I just mentioned the CTE workshop, so the woodworking classroom. We did, after performing a walkthrough with Mr. Smith and Mr. Connors of plant operations, we did decide that we offered to install a floor in the new woodworking classroom, and I do think that it makes a big difference. Again, you can tell with the ceiling paint and everything else. I think I did speak with the teacher last week when I was on site, and he's very happy with the space. So I think for those of you who remember this class area, I think you can see a big difference. Typical art room renovation. There are 2 new art rooms and a storage room between these 2 rooms that were completed in this space. Again, it's another fully renovated space, floor to ceiling, new millwork, new HVAC, miscellaneous electrical. You could see over here in this photo on the right, there's each art room does have a utility sink, and I believe there's 3 new epoxy resinous sinks in each classroom. We call it the Octagon main corridor. So this is, for those of you who are familiar with the school, the Octagon is kind of the center of the school where all of the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade class wings kind of meet. So this is, that's kind of how we address this area with our contractors. This is just an example of what the space, so right now we're still working inside of this area. And this is an example of what the space outside of our work area looks like. As you can see, we have not addressed the floor yet because the students are still in this space. So once, I think we'll be addressing this over April vacation. And then when they return after April vacation, this will all be complete. You'll notice this black tarp here over the windows that have been installed. This is again to separate our work areas from the students, so they can't see in, and our workers can also not see out. This is a couple of quick photos of the new addition. So this photo here on the left is the new entry to the multi-use restroom. Since this photo has been taken, the masonry has been completed, so it already looks completely different and almost ready for paint. The plumbers are in there right now getting the fixtures ready to be installed. The middle photo here is the new entrance. You can see the opening right here. This is where the new transaction window will be going. This is for those of you who have been over to Pennachuck Middle School within the last year. It'll be kind of a similar design with the bulletproof glass, with the pass-through, with the speaker. Similar design in that space as well. And then here's an example on the right of an area that's been prepped for exterior brick. So this is the outside of the building. You can kind of see the winterized tarp that we kind of have to put around the masonry to keep it warm so we can perform the work during the winter. This, again, as I mentioned, this tent will be coming down within the next month, next week or so, and you'll be able to see the progress made at the front entry. And then this is the interior of the Octagon space. So this is this photo to the upper left is the interior view of the windows that are covered with the plastic to keep our work area separated from the school zone. You can see the bottom left, we installed new windows in the clerestory, and you can see that it's going to be a really nice space. And just after this photo was taken, the inspections were all passed for the in-wall, and has drywall since been installed and will be ready for paint. So this space is really looking ready to turn over, and we're excited for everybody to see it. So again, that's all I have for photos for Fairgrounds. Does anybody have any questions regarding Fairgrounds and any of the pre-construction stuff for Pennachuck?
Anyone? It's coming along very well, and also in the spring, further into the spring, they'll be doing all the outside, finishing the landscaping and paving, and so I don't think that'll all be started till after school is out, Ken?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Are those the HI change orders? Are those the ones that we were referring to, Sean? We need to skip those for now?
Yes. Yeah, for everybody's, I neglected to bring copies of those home with me. I know one of them is so for the track at the new middle school, we are expanding, how should I put this? We're taking a piece of the adjoining city land for the track. And to do that, we have to have Hayner Swanson survey that piece of land. And one of those two change orders is to do that. And the cost was $12,500. So I don't know which one of those two change orders it is.
So that's within my authority to sign, but why don't we make
This measure, how much field we needed? What happened here?
No, when you're working with the athletic director and laying out the track, because all the other middle schools have a track. In order to make everything fit, it was easier if we just took a few feet of the adjoining property, which belongs to the city. It's open space. It's the deed for the city allows us to do that. It's not a big deal. There's no expense. It's just moving the lot line to make it so it'll belong to the school and not the city.
Okay, so in order to move the lot line, it's an additional $12,000. Is that what it is?
Well, we had to hire the firm to do the measurements, official measurements, so that the right mets and bounds can be written by legal.
Okay, but did we have that, was that done prior to this, now this new piece of paper? Or is this the brand new lot line? Is this the original that we're going, that we haven't done before, or is this now a correction for the $12,000?
This is the original, in working with legal and the new planning manager for the city of Nashua. We're just making sure that we do this all officially so that the track will be allowed to be on school property and not on that other piece of property. Is just open space for that area. And we're not infringing on the amount of open space that is allowed, and the deed allows us to do this. So it's just to move the lot line of the new middle school lot line so that when we turn it over to the school owns that property.
It's just a cleanup on paper, right?
Right.
Basically?
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So would the clerk please call the roll?
I think we still need the motion.
Oh, I thought I made the motion to
Did make the motion.
Oh, you did.
not
I'm
to
sorry.
exceed.
I got distracted. Okay.
Alderman Dowd.
Yes.
I'm sorry, did Miss Harriet Gothard show up? Is she here
I
yet?
don't see her. Yes, I
see
don't
her.
see her.
Okay. Alderman Clee.
Yes.
Alderman Lou is not here, correct?
No.
Okay. I apologize. I'm on my phone. I don't have a full screen.
Okay.
Alderman Wilshire.
Yes.
Miss Bishop votes yes. Miss Brown.
Yes.
Miss Gilio.
Yes.
Miss Johnson.
Yeah,
Miss Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. The
You're welcome.
other, Sean, I remember the other Hayner Swanson piece is doing the Mets and bounds for the easement that the Penachuk's giving us for the intersection. Isn't that the other one? But I don't recall the price. We don't have, that's nothing urgent. We don't need to do that tonight.
Actually, I was hoping Miss Johnson would have that. She seemed to have the other piece of paper, so. Did you have that one, Paula? Maybe you could tell us what's on it.
gee, good thing I have them give me hard copies, right?
I've got mine on
Yes.
the computer, so.
Okay, so that one, it was HSI on the first page, lot relocation. And that was the $12,250. And then what was the other one you wanted?
It was the right,
Change order number 5?
we can write the easement for the Penachuk land that they're gonna let us use for the intersection. I believe that's the one it is.
I don't see Penachuk on here.
There are 2 change orders, number 3 and number 5.
Okay. Number 5 I got here. I don't see number 3. I just have a memo on the back of this. Wait a second. Was that for 30,000? Scope of work, yep, here it is.
Yeah,
Change order number 3. For a new Nashua Middle School project, Buck Meadow Road and Medallion Court, SWPP Environmental Monitoring.
oh, okay, yeah, that's the other one, yeah.
Is that the other one you're looking for?
Yeah, that's the one we're looking for. That's, yeah, we've got to do that because we're, yeah, I don't know if Ken or Jamie want to touch on that. But we need that information to go up to the state.
It's a stormwater pollution prevention program. Actually, maybe we'll tap Carl to describe this one.
There you go, Carl.
Yeah, anytime you do a project that's over an acre in size, the state has a program that we have to provide documentation, and it's called a SWIP. The acronym stands for Stormwater Pollution Plan. So not only do we provide it, but it's usually done by the engineer as well of record. That's all approved, and then once that's approved, typically there's a document that will follow that in terms of the amount of monitoring that has to take place after any storm event, and written report that has to follow. So this is the start of getting that going.
And that's something that we did plan in the bond, and that's done by Hayter Swanson. They're doing all of that type of work for us, and it was all planned. Mrs. Johnson, do you want to make the motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve change order number 3 in the amount not to exceed $30,000.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Alderman Clee?
Thank you, Chairman Dowd. It's really seems insignificant when you look at the whole thing, but there's an item that refers to, I think, reimbursable expense of $500. What is that item?
Under that HSI?
Yeah, it talks about the budget item estimate. It says the SWIP is the environmental monitoring of $29,500, and then it says reimbursable expenses allotted $500. And I know that and I know that Ms. Johnson referred to it as not to exceed $30,000. So I just want to know what this the $500 is. Yes.
They incurred, and correct me.
I think
Carl?
Mr. Dubois. Yeah.
I know what it is, but Carl can cover it.
Yeah, typically any consultants like this will always have a reimbursable account for things such as not so much for Hannah Swanson, but sometimes we'll see travel, we'll see reimbursable expenses for reproducibles, documents, drawings, plans, that type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
When they present us the information, they make multiple copies so they can charge us for them.
Makes
All right.
sense.
So the motion on the floor is to pass the change order number 3 for Hannah Swanson in the amount not to exceed $30,000. Any further questions? No. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Clee,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, Ken, we want to get it now. So I mentioned before, we have 21 letters of to bids, recommendation summaries to go through. So Ken, you're on.
Alderman Dowd, do you want to do the GMP before or after that?
We can do it before. I have the copies of the GMP for the Pennachuck School project, and the GMP is under our budget, and it's 20 million for, with the addition of alternate 1, which we'll get into, is $20,499,190 if I did my math right. Carl? No calculator?
I'm looking at it right now. Hang on for a second.
The GMP was the 20,212,581, but alternate 1, which we're going to be talking about tonight with the roof, is 286,609. So if I did my math right, it's 20,499,190, and it is mentioned in the GMP. And does everybody know what a GMP is? Guaranteed maximum price. It only changes if we tell them to do something that's not in here, additional. Or there's something in there that we end up not doing for some reason, then it goes down, but. So
Maybe Carl can explain all that.
Yeah.
The contract that we're under, there's typically 2 types of approaches on commercial construction: a general contracting approach and construction management approach. General contracting approach, they would give you a number and then they would build the project. If they're bringing in for less, they keep the money. If it goes over, sometimes it comes down to just the wits as to why. We're under contract, and we've been under contract numerous times with the city as a construction management approach. The difference is we're on the same side of the table. We are advocate to try to stretch the construction dollars as far as they can go. Whatever we do save goes back, 100% goes back to the city. We're into it for a fee and a fee only. So we will coordinate and construct the work for a stated fee. And we also provide what's called a guaranteed maximum price. In other words, this 20,499,190. If Harvey blew it, it comes out of our fee and out of our pocket. It's gives you a cap as far as what the cost would be. Typically, that can be changed by change order, should the owner decide to make changes moving forward, or via the architect via design. But typically, it would require, as you've seen before, we will provide you what's called a PCO, proposed change order. We typically, like on Fairgrounds, we might have 2 or 3 of those. And then we would incorporate that into what they call a prime change order, which incorporates all of that work into the legal document, raising the contract amount. We've used this on all of the elementary schools. We're using the same contract format on Fairgrounds, and we'll be doing the same with Pennachuck and the new middle school. So the document that's being presented and to be voted on is us issuing what we think what we know what the guaranteed maximum price would be. That document has to be executed, and that's the final ribbon on the contract. It ties it all together.
And I have completely reviewed the document. It's quite a few pages, and it covers all the work that needs to be done. Any questions on the GMP? Seeing none, the motion on the floor would be for me to have the authority to sign the GMP for the Joint Special School Building Committee for the Pennachuck Middle School in the amount of $20,499,190. Any questions? If not, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Clee,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
No.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Now we can go on to the letters of recommendation. And again, I have reviewed all of these and had discussions with Ken, but he will describe all of them as we go through. Ken?
Thank you, Alderman Dowd. So there's a small correction for tonight. You're all in luck. There's only 20 packages I'll be presenting tonight, not 21. I did receive some new pricing today for the specialties package, and I'll note that when we get to it in the package, and I'll present that next month. That's not a high priority package. I just want to make sure that I get a second look at the updated pricing that I received today. So I just wanted to get that on the record before we get going. So again, I know we did this last month. We went through about a dozen or so recommendation packages, but just to update anybody, and again, stop me anytime if there are questions, comments. I'll just describe the process again. So what Harvey does is we get the contract documents, the specifications from Harriman, and we solicit bids to a complete list of trade contractors. We then review the bids, verify that all the scope is covered that was shown on the contract documents. Once that is confirmed, the prices are compared, and we call them leveled. And then Harvey will make a recommendation based on the most suitable bidder to folks just as yourself. So if there are any questions, please stop me at any time. Since there are so many packages tonight to review, I'll just leave the cover sheet up here so we don't have to thumb through all of the different items. If there's a specific question, I'll be happy to pull up the specific recommendation package that the question's being asked for. So before I get going, any questions as far as the process and how we kind of work through getting to this point?
I have a question. Can you make that larger?
I'm gonna try. I'm on the spot here now.
There we go.
Okay, is that better?
Thank you. Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, so the first package that we'll be presenting for tonight for the Pennachuck Middle School is the demolition package. I'll describe the scope of work for each package again, and then I'll run through the number of bidders that were submitted and the cost and the recommendation. So again, the demolition package for the Pennachuck Middle School, this covers all demolition scope as shown on the contract documents. This covers any premium time labor that is required to complete the scope of work. A lot of the work that this trade contractor performs is very noisy. So we don't want to affect anything going on within the school. So if we need to take it off shift, we certainly do that. So we make sure that the trade contractor includes that in their pricing. This also includes any dust control and indoor air quality measures. A lot of times you see those machines blowing with filters, making sure that the air is getting purified as we're doing this dirty work inside. Also, this trade contractor is going to be performing the trenching and the backfilling of all the interior digging that will be inside of the school. A lot of the times we can't get machines inside the school to perform any required trenching for any plumbing work or mechanical work that needs to be done beneath the existing concrete slab. So we will tag this trade contractor to perform that work. So again, the number of bidders that were submitted for this was, the number was 3. We're recommending the lowest and most qualified bidder, and that is EnviroVantage of Epping, New Hampshire, for a total contract cost of $165,850.00.
So I'll need a motion to approve the bid for demolition to EnviroVantage Epping, New Hampshire at an estimated cost of, or actual cost of $165,850. Who would like to make that motion? Alderman Wiltshire?
Oh, okay.
I'll make the motion that we authorize the work for sorry, it's not on my screen anymore. EnviroVantage of Epping for a cost of $165,850.
Okay, that's the motion on the floor. Any questions? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Clee,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ken?
Okay, thank you. The next bid package that I'll be presenting tonight is for the laboratory casework. This is the scope of work is for all the lab casework for all the science rooms. This is a typically specialty type of casework, different than your standard cabinetry. This also will be installed in all of the storage rooms. This is again a specialty item here that is part of Harriman's spec, and we bid it out such as that. There were 3 bidders. Again, we're recommending the lowest and most qualified bidder, and that is Lab Furniture Installation and Sales Incorporated, Middleton, Mass, for a total contract value of $291,630.00.
So I'll need a motion to approve the laboratory casework to Lab Furniture Installation and Sales, Inc. of Middletown, Massachusetts, in the amount of $291,630. Who would like to make that motion? Julio?
So moved.
Okay. Any questions on that work? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Clee,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson, Ms. Johnson,
Yes, I thought you heard me. Sorry.
Nah, I didn't, but it's okay. We fixed it. Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
excellent. Motion passes.
Thank you. Ken?
Thank you. The next package is the architectural millwork. This is kind of in the same vein of the previous package that it was recommended. This is more of your standard cabinetry, woodworking, and finished carpentry. This will include all the millwork in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade classrooms and learning commons, all the millwork in the chorus, music, health, nurse, OT, PT, offices, and workrooms, all the locker bases, tops, and end panels, all of the trim at the cementitious panels, and all of the, basically all of the, there was a request made by plant operations to make a change to a hardwood type of cabinetry, and we made sure that this was incorporated into this bid. And we did receive 3 bids for this. We're again recommending the lowest and most qualified bidder, this Aubin Woodworking of Bow, New Hampshire, for a total contract value of $392,917.00. This contractor is also working at Fairgrounds Middle School as well.
So I'll need a motion to award the architectural millwork to Aubin Woodworking, Inc. of Bow, New Hampshire in the amount of $392,917. Who would like to make that motion? Ms. Brown? Any questions on the bid? Seeing none, would clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Clee, Alderman Clee, shall I come back to you?
Yeah, I think
I'll
she-
come back. Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Did Alderman Clee come back? Not yet? Okay, well, motion passes.
Thank you.
Well, do we need 3 from the aldermans?
No, we just need 5 votes. We're a committee of 10.
Okay, perfect. Yep, motion passes.
Okay. Ken?
The next package I'll be presenting is the composite wall panels. The scope of work here is strictly the facade. This is the exterior of the building of Harriman's design. This includes the concrete panels that'll be on the exterior of a lot of the new additions, and it also includes the composite metal panel systems that are also comprised of the exterior of the we received 4 bids. Again, we're recommending the lowest and most qualified bidder. That is Exterior Designs of Plainville, Massachusetts, for a total contract value of $697,900.00.
Okay, I just found out Alderman Clee had to leave because of an urgent requirement, so she won't be back with us. So this is the composite wall panels be awarded to Exterior Designs of Plainville, Massachusetts in the amount of $697,900. Who'd like to make that motion?
So moved.
Mrs. Bishop made the motion. Any questions on this? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
and Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Ken?
Thank you. The next package we'll be reviewing is the roofing package. This is the package that contains the alternate that Alderman Dowd referenced earlier. So I will just give a brief description of the scope of work and what the base contract entails, and then I'll run through the alternate. So the base contract for the roofing covers all the insulation, the cover board that goes on top of the insulation of the new roof, all of the wood blocking that goes around the perimeter of the new additions and the renovations, all the roofing membrane, the warranties, all the hatches, and required tie-off points for safety. It also includes the solid tube units. Solid tubes are basically a type of skylight. We're installing these at Fairgrounds right now. It's kind of a clever way that Harriman figured out how to bring natural light into some odd portions of the building. So I think it's a good feature to add to the design. We did receive 2 bids. We are recommending the lowest qualified bidder, and that is Alpine Valley Incorporated of Pepperell, Mass, for a total base contract of $708,000.00, and that is for the base contract.
Do we want to address these separately, or do we want to address them?
I guess I'll do the alternate as well. So the add alternate here, this is again was mentioned earlier by Alderman Dowd. This was not part of the design, but part of an existing roof that Mr. Smith and plant operations had asked Harvey Construction to price outside of the GMP contract. So we did ask that all of the roofing bidders also price this work, and this the recommended contractor Alpine Valley did provide a price to perform this work, and the price to perform this work was $249,000.00. If the alternate is accepted, this will be outside of the GMP, and their total contract would be $957,000.00.
Oh, we just added that to the GMP.
Right.
So, yeah, this is Carl.
The GMP will incorporate this. The GMP that you have in front of you, Mr. Dowd, does not have this. It's listed as an alternate. This would have to get rolled in by change order.
Okay.
It's not in the contract amount, I don't believe.
It's
That is correct, Carl.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, as I explained earlier, this is approved. You will see a change order next month, just rolling the dollar value into the total of the GMP. I know your intent was that you'd like to see this work done. So, but the actual document that you have in front of you, it's not in there in the total dollar amount. You were correct on your 20,499,190. That will be the corrected revised contract amount by change.
Okay. So we have roofing that we needed to do, and the roofing that we're talking about here for the alternative is existing roofing. It needs to be worked on. It didn't make any sense. We have a company up there doing a massive amount of the roof to not have one company do all the work and have a whole new roof, so that we're not trying to stress Sean's maintenance monies later on. But Sean, do you want to add anything to that roof needs some work?
Yes, actually, yes. So this is the section of roof between the classroom wings. So flat section of roof. It is going to be covered with some solar panels. You don't want to put solar panels on an old roof. And this particular section of roof is original to the school, so it dates back to the late 80s. We are also replacing the rooftop air handling units that are on that roof. And so it just makes a heck of a lot of sense to just replace at this point. You may recall that the school board originally approved paying for this out of deferred maintenance funds. That was with the hope that at some point the construction project would agree to take it on with bonded funds once we were confident that contingency could afford to take it on. And I think we are at this point. So that's kind of the history of that particular piece of roof.
Okay, so I'd like a motion to.
Can I ask a question, please? This is Mrs. Johnson.
Okay, I was just gonna make the motion and ask for questions, but if you want.
Okay, that's fine. Make the motion and then I can ask it after.
So need a motion to award the roofing contract, including the alternate one to Alpine Valley Inc. of Pepperell, Mass. In the total amount of $957,000. Would like to make that motion.
So moved.
So moved by Mrs. Bishop. Okay, questions, Mrs. Johnson?
Thank you. So I want to ask this of Mr. Smith. So now the roofing that we approved and now on the board, we don't need to use that money because it's going to be in the construction project now. Is that it?
That's correct.
Okay, so you're going to be coming into our board and showing us that we don't need, that we can rescind it and use that for other things?
Yeah, so yes, I had a plan to spend it originally, but this roof overtook those plans. So yes, there will be alternate plans presented to you.
And finance, I presume.
Yes, yes.
Okay, look forward to seeing it. Thank you.
Any other questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Gladly, my cat sat on my notebook. Alderman Dowd. She always knows where to go when I need her not around the most. Alderman Dowd.
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire.
Yes.
Miss Bishop votes yes. Miss Brown.
Yes.
Miss Gilio.
Yes.
Miss Johnson.
Yes.
Miss Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Ken?
Next package we'll be reviewing is the air and vapor barrier, often called AVB by construction folk, and joint sealants. So what air vapor barrier is, this is a kind of a system that's often installed at the exterior of building walls to keep the building breathing and basically keeping the water out of the building. That's I guess a layman's way of explaining what an air vapor barrier is. Part of this contract also includes the exterior sealing of all the windows, doors, storefronts, control joints in the building, and all of the interior caulking of the windows, doors, storefronts, around the plumbing fixtures, door frames, etc. We did receive 5 bids for this scope of work. We did find that 2 of the bids were not complete, so we disqualified those bidders. So we narrowed it down to 3 bidders that were that did have the scope of work that we felt were appropriate to the drawings and specifications. We are recommending the lowest and qualified bidder, and that is Reliable Waterproofing Services, Canterbury, New Hampshire, for a total contract value of $152,800.00.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to award the air vapor barrier and joint sealants to Reliable Waterproofing Services of Canterbury, New Hampshire, in the amount of $152,800. Who'd like to make that motion? Alderman Wilshire.
I'll make that motion.
Any questions? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd.
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire.
Yes.
Miss Bishop votes yes. Miss Brown.
Yes.
Miss Gilio.
Yes.
Miss Johnson.
Yes.
Miss Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Ken?
The next package we'll be working through is the spray foam insulation. The scope of work described here is it's basically a type of insulation that is installed at all of the exterior walls, typically in new construction at the new addition at this specific project. We did receive 2 bids for the scope of work. We're recommending the lowest and qualified bidder. That is Cte Insulation of Canaan, New Hampshire, for a total contract value of $35,925.00.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to award the spray foam insulation Couche Insulation of Canaan, New Hampshire, in the amount of $35,925. Who'd like to make that motion?
I'll make it. Sharon Gilio.
Ms. Gilio? Any questions on that bid? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Dowd. Oh,
Yes.
Oh, I thought I was on mute. Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Ken?
Thank you. Next package we'll be reviewing is the aluminum storefront glass and glazing package. The scope of work entails here is the interior and exterior storefront systems, basically all of the windows, the aluminum entrances to the new addition that are going to be added to the project footprint. All the aluminum windows, glazing, and all of the skylights. We received 5 bids here. We're recommending the lowest and qualified bidder, and that is Middlesex Glass Company of Tewksbury, Massachusetts, for a total value of $481,866.00.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to award the aluminum storefront glass and glazing to Middlesex Glass Company of Tewksbury, Massachusetts, in the amount of $481,866. Who'd like to make that motion?
So moved.
So moved by Mrs. Bishop. Any questions on that? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Ken?
Yeah. The next package is for the doors, frames, and hardware. And this is for all of the hollow metal frames, hollow metal doors, all of the wood doors, and all of the associated hardware for all of these openings. This is, we received 4 bids for this scope of work. We're recommending the lowest and qualified bidder, and that is Kelly Brothers of Hudson, New Hampshire, for a total value of $264,399.00.
Okay, I'll need a motion to award the doors, frames, and hardware to Kelly Brothers of Hudson, New Hampshire, in the amount of $264,399. Who'd
I'll
like to
make that motion.
Alderman Wilshire made the motion. Any questions on that bid? The clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Ken?
Thank you. The next package I'll be presenting is the acoustical ceilings package. This is the scope of work is all the acoustical ceiling tile and associated grid system for the new and existing areas that are as part of the design. Also included this and is part of the GMP is an allowance for ceiling tile replacement in areas not shown. So sometimes we'll get into spaces where we're not scheduled to replace tiles, but we really should because it's the right thing to do. So we've made sure that that's incorporated into this scope of work. We received bids from 7 bidders. We're recommending the lowest and most qualified bidder, and that is Granite State Acoustics of Bedford, New Hampshire, for a total value of $153,600.00.
So I'd like to make a motion to award the acoustic ceiling work to Granite State Acoustics of Bedford, New Hampshire, in the amount of $153,600. You'd like to make that motion?
So moved.
Mrs. Brown? Okay, any questions on that? Seeing none, the clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
It's a sound approval.
Thank you. Okay, Ken?
Enthusiasm, I like it. The next package is the acoustic wall panels. Oftentimes we'll purchase these, the previous package and this package together. It's a similar type of scope of work. The scope here is all the sound absorbing panels that are placed often on ceilings of rooms and walls of rooms that have loud sounds inside, sometimes in music rooms and gymnasiums and cafeterias and mechanical rooms. You don't want to disturb the people that are in the adjoining room. So that's this scope of work for this specific contractor. There were 6 bids received. We did find that 1 bid was incomplete and did not carry the scope that was required. So we disqualified that bid. We are recommending the lowest and qualified bidder, and that is, again, Granite State Acoustics of Bedford, New Hampshire, for a total value, contract value of $86,500.00.
So I'll need a motion to approve the acoustic wall panel work to Granite State Acoustics of Bedford, New Hampshire, in the amount of $86,500. Who'd like to make that motion? Mrs. Gilio?
I will move.
Okay. Any questions on that work? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Miss Bishop. Yes, sorry. Miss Brown,
Yes.
Miss Gilio,
Yes.
Miss Johnson,
Yes.
Miss Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Ken?
Thank you. The next package is the flooring package. Again, this is a kind of a self-explanatory package, but just to highlight what is included: all of the wall and floor tile, all the vinyl, rubber, carpet flooring, and as well as the entrance mats, floor mats that are going to be scheduled to be installed at the entrances of all of the new additions. There were 6 bids received for this scope of work. 1 bid was found to be incomplete. That bid was disqualified. So we are recommending the low and most qualified bidder, and that is Universal Decor of Nashua, New Hampshire, for a total contract value of $236,047.00.
So I'd like to entertain a motion to award the flooring work to Universal Decor of Nashua, New Hampshire, in the amount of $236,047.
I'll make that motion.
Ms. Alderman Wilshire made the motion. Is there any questions on this bid? Seeing none, would clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Miss Bishop votes yes. Miss Brown,
Yes.
Miss Gilio,
Yes.
Miss Johnson, Miss
Yes.
Johnson, thank you. Miss Raymond,
Yes.
all motion passes.
Thank you. Ken?
Thank you. The next package we'll be reviewing is the folding panel partition. This is there are 6 new folding partitions that are part of Harriman's design. These items are typically used to separate classrooms and larger spaces when required. So again, per specification, there were 3 different types of manufacturers specified, and all bidders were required to carry the specified items. There were 3 bidders for this scope of work. The lowest and most qualified bid being recommended, and that is Corbin Huffcore of Rockland, Massachusetts, for a total value of $154,000.00.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion for the folding petitions to Corbin Huffcore of Rockland, Mass, in the amount of $154,000. Who'd like to make that motion?
So moved.
So moved by Mrs. Bishop. Any questions on this bid? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Miss Bishop votes yes. Miss Brown,
Yes.
Miss Gilio,
Yes.
Miss Johnson,
Yes.
Miss Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you. The next package is the metal locker package, and this is the furnish and install all of the new welded metal lockers as part of Harriman's design. We received 5 bids for this scope of work. We're recommending the lowest and most qualified bidder that is also performing all of the work over at Fairgrounds Middle School. They did a great job. That is J. Solis and Sons of Woburn, Mass, for a total contract value of $104,800.00.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to award the metal lockers to J. Solis and Sons, Inc. of Woburn, Mass, in the amount of $104,800. Who would like to make that
Move.
motion?
I
Mrs.
will.
Julio?
So moved, yes.
Are there any questions on this bid? Mrs.
I actually
Brown?
had a question on this one, Jessica
Okay.
Brown. What are the size of these lockers? Are they like the half size lockers and are the full width?
Who wants to address? Jamie, do you want to address that?
Absolutely. Yeah, so they are double stacked lockers, double tier lockers. So there's 2 high, but they are, I always get this dimension wrong, 15 inches wide by 12 inches deep, I think is what, yes, that is what it is. I always get them backwards. So 15 inches wide, 12 inches deep.
Okay,
which-
so they're like big enough to fit a backpack in as opposed to the really narrow
Absolutely.
ones?
Yes, and all the ones that are in the school now are those 6-inch ones. Those are all coming out and being replaced with these. And there's locations for handicap lockers that are located throughout the building, which have a few special nuances, different handling and some different adjacencies. So, but yes, absolutely.
Mrs.
Thank you.
Brown, we're gonna have to get you for a tour of Fairgrounds. They did a really good job on those lockers, and yes, you can get a backpack in there, along with a whole bunch of other stuff if you wanted to. Okay, any other questions on the bid? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
The motion has been locked up and approved.
Thank you. Ken?
Okay, the next package we'll be reviewing is the marker boards and tack boards. This is for the furnish and install of all the marker boards and tack boards. This also includes, they're called wall talkers. Wall talkers are, for those of you who aren't familiar, Jamie, let me know if I describe it incorrectly, but it's basically a writable surface that's washable that is installed almost like a wallpaper over drywall. I think that I've seen it installed a few times, and I think that's how it goes. But it's a pretty cool surface, and I think it works well in like student commons areas and spaces such as that. We received 5 bids. We're recommending the lowest and qualified bidder, and that is Specialty Services of New England, LLC of Salem, New Hampshire, for a total contract value of $81,700.00.
So I'd like to entertain a motion to award the marker boards and tack boards to Specialty Services of New England LLC of Salem, New Hampshire, in the amount of $81,700. Who'd like to make that motion?
So moved.
Mrs. Brown? Any questions on that? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Ken?
Thank you. The next package is the package that I referenced earlier that I'd like to postpone until next month. This is the specialties package. So I will review the new pricing that I received today, and I will present this along with the only remaining package next month's JSSBC meeting. So we'll address this next month. So with that, we'll move into the signage. This is the scope of work here is all of the room identification signs, all of the teacher name inserts that go next to each teaching space, all the restroom and wayfinding signage that is placed throughout the hallways, and also all the exterior door and window signage that's required for safety and by the fire department as well. That was part of what Jamie and his team have worked through with the principal and security and safety department in city of Nashua. We did receive 2 bids for this scope of work. We're recommending the lowest and qualified bidder, and that is Welch Sign of Scarborough, Maine. That's for a total cost of $36,425.00.
All right, I'd like to entertain a motion for the signage to Welch Sign, Scarborough, Maine, in the amount of $36,425. Who would like to make that motion?
So moved.
So moved by Mrs. Bishop. Any questions on that? By the way, we get rid of all those pieces of scratch paper put in the windows to identify a number. Now they all look identical and they're all permanent. Okay, will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
yes,
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Okay, I saw the sign and the motion passes.
All right, Ken?
Next package we'll be reviewing is the gym equipment and the bleachers package. And again, often this package is usually combined with one contractor. It's usually a wholesale type of deal. The scope of work for Penachuk is slightly different than Fairgrounds, but kind of a similar design in the gym. We'll be installing 2 basketball hoops, all new safety padding in the gym, new divider curtain, and as well as the new bleachers. We did receive 2 bids, and we did find that one bidder did not provide the specified bleachers, so they were disqualified. They could not provide competitive pricing with the specified bleachers. So we are recommending RH Lord of Manchester, Connecticut. They're going to be doing the work over at Fairgrounds as well. They're a great company to work with. And their total contract value being recommended is $102,861.00.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to award the gym equipment and bleachers to RH Lord of Manchester, Connecticut in the amount of $102,861. Who'd like to make that motion?
I would, so moved.
Julio? Any questions on this bid? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes,
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, Ken?
Thank you. The next package up is the window shades. This is basically all of the furnish and installation of all of the interior and the shades for all the interior and exterior windows and lights. There were 3 bids received for this scope of work. The lowest and most qualified bidder is being recommended, and that is Contract Window Fashions of Merrimack, New Hampshire, for a total contract value of $25,287.00.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion for the window shades to Contract Window Fashions of Merrimack, New Hampshire in the amount of $25,287. Who'd like to make that motion?
So moved.
So moved by Mrs. Bishop. Any questions on this? Being none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes. Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
yes,
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, Ken?
More to go. The next item is landscaping package. The scope of work here, again, we're going to be furnishing and installing all of the items shown on Harriman's landscaping plan. This includes all of the plantings, trees, bark and stone mulch, the concrete pavers, irrigation system where shown, and furnish and install 15 new granite benches. There were 3 bids received. We did remove 1 bid due to incomplete scope. We are recommending the lowest and most qualified bidder, that is LA Brochu, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, for a total contract cost of $213,000, $213,533.00.
The landscaping is going to LA Brochure of Concord, right?
Yeah, I had the wrong city. I knew they were in Concord.
You're trying to trip me up, aren't you?
Yeah, Chasco's in Portsmouth, not Brochu.
So I'd like to have a motion to award the landscaping to LA Brochure Inc. of Concord, New Hampshire, in the amount of $213,533. We'd like
So
to make a
moved.
motion by Ms. Alderman Wiltshire. Any questions on that? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes, Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
yes,
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Ken?
Thank you. Final package for tonight is the fencing package. The scope of work here is to provide a new 6-foot high chain link fence. The chain link is coated in black vinyl per specification and city requirements. This also includes a new dumpster enclosure around the dumpster area. There were 2 bids received here. We're recommending the lowest and most qualified bidder from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, that is Chasco Incorporated, for a total contract value of $30,365.00.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to award the fencing contract to Chasco of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, in the amount of $30,365. Who'd like to make the last motion? Mrs.
So
Julio.
moved.
Julio. Any questions on the fencing? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes, Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
yes,
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Done with that package, and they are all signed, and I will get them to Sean tomorrow morning along with the GMP.
Thank you for everybody's time. Very much appreciate it.
Okay, next item on the agenda is allied quote for FMS security. Sean?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. That was a cell phone ad, was it? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in your package, you have 2 quotes. First one is for Pasic. There's a typo on the agenda. This is actually for Penachuk, so PMS, and it's just for the first line. So there's a quantity of 80. There's a string of numbers there. So these are for cylinders for Penachuk. You recall last month we bought cylinders for Fairgrounds Middle School. We own the keyways for the cores for locks. Basically, these are the specialized school locks that we put in all our schools across the city. And once the construction company, once Harvey is done with construction, they take out the construction cylinders that they use. And as we take over the school, then we put in these cores, and they're keyed to our locks. And we do that as we complete their work. So requesting approval for the cores to Pasic in the amount of $5,656.
It was 5,650.
5,656.
56. Okay, so I'll need a motion to approve the security cores for the doors, the amount of $5,656 to Pasek. Who'd like to make that motion?
I
So
will.
moved.
Everybody puts up their hand at once. All right, I'll go with Mrs. Brown, just to even things out. Okay, are there any questions on the cores? All right, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes, Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes, yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Sean?
Okay, the second quote I have is from Allied Universal. They are the company doing our security work for the project. This particular piece of work is for Fairgrounds Middle School. And it's one of those things that we really don't foresee until we actually populate the school and the school is put together. And this came from school administration. So in the 3 classroom wings, you have, they come to a T, and there are lockers that were installed in the back of that wing. And as Jamie indicated earlier, they're double-decker lockers, so they're a little higher than what they're accustomed to. And the assistant principal indicated that in the security system, they could not see the other end of the hallway. So there's already a security camera back there, but they cannot see what's going on at the far end of the hallway when the kids are there, the locker doors are open, etc. So we asked the security company for the cost of installing a second camera in the other end of the wing. In doing so, we exceeded the amount of cameras in the school that what they call the Net VR would handle. So we're required to upgrade basically the brains of the security system in that school, which is why the price is a little higher than normal. So that's the gist of what the proposal is. It's a new NVR and 3 new cameras, and the total price is $23,222.03.
3 cents.
And I request approval for that work.
Okay, who would like to make the motion to approve the new cameras in the Fairgrounds Middle School? It's in the amount of $23,222.03. Anybody?
So moved.
So moved by Miss Heather Raymond. Any questions on this? I originally had questions, but I realized when you get down and see the school, you see where they can't see down that end. So it's 1 in each wing. All right. Seeing no questions, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes, Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes,
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Sean?
That was it for the quotes. Guess we can go into the invoices for the month.
Yep.
And I will read from the agenda and start with Allied Invoices. There are 3 invoices this month, all for Fairgrounds Middle School. They totaled $62,807.82. And Alderman Dahl, did you want to have me read all of these, or do you want to vote on each vendor?
No, let's read them all and I'll go through them again before we vote on them.
Okay. So then the next vendor is Harriman, our architect. They had invoice for each of the 3 middle schools. And those invoices totaled $301,783 $81.63. Harvey Construction provided one invoice. It was for Fairgrounds Middle School in the amount of $438,359.01. Hayner Swanson, who's our surveying company, provided one invoice for work at the new middle school in the amount of $357.50. Posic provided one invoice for Fairgrounds Middle School. That was for $2,357.68. Page Street, that's the company that gives us our ground storage units, provided two invoices for the units at Fairgrounds Middle School for a total of $380. Vanessa and Associates, that is the company that's doing our traffic study and design for us at Pennachuck, provided one invoice in the amount of $23,146.30. And finally, William Scotsman, who's providing the portable classrooms at Fairgrounds Middle School. Two invoices, one for each unit, totaling $7,985 even. And all that totals $841,879.20.
Okay, so the motion on the floor is to approve the following invoices for Harvey Construction: $438,399.01. Harriman A&E, $301,781.63. Vanessa and Associates, Hayner Swanson, $357.50. Vanessa, $27,850.56. Page Street Rental, $380. Williams Scotsman, $7,985. And Allied Universal, $62,807.82. And was that Pate?
Posic.
$2,357.68 for a total of $841,879.20. Any questions on the invoices? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes, Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, we can pay the bills. Comments by committee members. I just want to say we did have a very good pre-construction meeting the other day with all the city departments, and things are proceeding along very well. If anybody gets any questions about all the tree cutting, that's the Pennachuck Waterworks for their solar farm. It's not the school. We've had numerous questions to the police department, fire department, and everybody else that has a phone. So it's not us. We don't need a non-public. Would the clerk make a motion to adjourn?
I was going to say, what kind of motion? A wave? Okay, I will make a motion to adjourn. Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Ms. Bishop votes yes, Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond.
Yes.
All right, we're adjourned at 8:44. Thank you, everyone, for your participation tonight.